Hi friends, it's Eric here. It's Talking with Famous People. I want to make a video response to this comment somebody left me. Um, hey Eric, I need your help on something. My father is a shitty, abusive man, and he wants me to obey all of his orders. If I do something good or achieve any success, he goes around to others like it was his accomplishment because his son achieved it. If I fail at something, he shouts at me, threatens me, because now I'm going to cause his image to worsen. Then in the latest situation, he wants me to follow all his orders. He thinks he's right all the time, even though he's not. Many times we have fought over these things. Many times I think of different directions our arguments can go, and what I can say in these cases, like how can I refute shitty arguments. There's one thing I need your help with. I can't really figure out this thing completely. It's whether he morally owns me or not. Of course he doesn't, because it is because of him that I'm alive. How much right does a parent have to on their kid's life? Morally, what's the right thing to do? Like, what if there's a shitty parent? Blah 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 blah. My father's like that with my mother too. He's the sole earner in our family, and so he thinks he owns my mother too, so he can beat her anytime he wants to. For more context, I'm from India. Also, he seems ESTJ. I need some advice. ESTJ dad. Would have been fine. That's awful. I'm sorry to hear that. The answer to this is very straightforward. A parent's job is to provide the circumstances, support, love, reinforcement, whatever, to enable the child to live their life to their own maximal attainment, right? So, I have some concrete advice for you. When your father says something awful, or just wrong, or just controlling, or whatever, say, I'd really like to live without this kind of ongoing ontological assault. Don't disagree with them. Don't contradict them. Just say that. I'd really like to go forward here in life without this ongoing abuse. Can you stop it, please? If you try to argue the point, whatever the point is, you're going to have problems. And the best thing, if you say, that's abuse, you might have problems. But you need to not allow the possibility in anybody's argument or anybody's head that it's anything but abuse. It's absolutely abuse. Controlling, it's unacceptable. So you just say, I'd really prefer if you not engage in this abusive behavior anymore. And make him deal with it as a feelings thing. You are hurting my feelings, and you are hurting my mother's feelings, and you are losing our respect. You need to treat us as human beings. We will make an attempt to treat you as one as well. Parents do not own their children. Parents do not have legitimate control over their children even. So when I raised my child, I made a concerted effort to never leverage or force anything. I made it clear, the clear narrative of my child was that I wanted her to be optimally her, whatever that was. If she wanted to do something and I was like, no, that's against the rules or something, like a parent check, I would say that I would talk to her until we were on the same page. Because nobody likes being forced, nobody likes being pressured, nobody likes being leveraged, nobody likes being compelled to adhere to another person's decision without any say in the matter. So, your father has no right to harm either you or your mother, has no right to engage in either physical or verbal assault, has no right to control you or your mother. A family is supposed to be multiple parties who want and enable the best for the other person. There are plenty of people in the world who are engaged in various degrees of narcissistic behavior. Like, basically thinking that the problem is that other people aren't in your life aren't more like you want them to be. That's never the problem. The problem is either you are around toxic people because you're choosing to, you are around toxic people because you're stuck, like a kid, or potentially financially, like a spouse that has no other financial options or something, or or I guess potentially I don't know what else the other thing would be. But I can't think of it right now. So the thing is, you sound like you're stuck. You're not going to be able to just leave. And there's going to be a challenge. You would like to be able to succeed in life according to your own standards and to receive credit for your successes on your own merits. You'd like to live in an environment where you don't have to walk on eggshells. And that's what it boils down to. If you are in any environment where you have to walk on eggshells, that's a serious fucking problem. Like, you should not be worried about getting in trouble. If you're walking around being worried about getting in trouble all the time, that's a serious systemic problem. I know it's systemic because I woke up in the middle of the night. I didn't wake up. I was still up in the middle of the night. Not last night, the night before. And I was being all fretful. And I realized, oh my God, I am worrying about getting in trouble because I'm up in the middle of the night. Well, who the fuck's going to get me in trouble anyway? But you see how deeply it internalizes. That somehow we have to adhere to and meet some external standard imposed upon us because the way we are makes others uncomfortable. So it's like, there's no reason for anybody to be uncomfortable that I'm up in the middle of the night. Well, I didn't sleep last night or whatever. But my experience in life is that spouses or significant other or mostly that, family or relationships or whatever, they want me to be normal, and they don't like. I mean, I dated SFJs, so that's to be expected, I guess. But yeah, so just to go back to the gist of it is that nobody deserves abuse. Nobody should have to tolerate abuse, but some people, circumstantially, it's inadequate to tell them, leave. So, my answer to you as to what to do is the approach I suggested. Tell them that you're tired of having your feelings hurt, you're tired of the abusive behavior, and you'd like him to stop. And don't engage on the specifics. When he says, just say, okay, this is what I'd like to stop. I don't like it. I'm not comfortable, are you? Of course, I get that it's scary dealing with somebody who's scary. That I'm sitting here in the comfort of my disembodied head in my room, it's easier said than done, right? But the other part of this question that I want to make sure I just give a very straightforward answer to is, to what extent is it okay for parents to control their kids' lives? To zero extent. It is okay for them to periodically step in and do something that is necessary to protect them or ensure their long-term viability as an agent or something. To prevent them from getting a tattoo at 10 years old or something. It's like, obviously, yes, parents are, a good steward is careful about preserving the child's resources as an agent all the way into adulthood. But, so yes, parents have to occasionally check their children. But no, it is not okay. Parents have no inherent right to control their children, tell them what to do, or take credit for their successes, or to blame them for their failures, or whatever, A relationship with another human being is exactly that. They're a human being, you are a human being, and both parties should treat each other the same, whether they're kids, adults, or whatever. Obviously, with kids, there's an additional layer of protection. They're not fully realized agents, so they don't have the ability to enter contract. They haven't attained their majority. They don't, in other words, enjoy full access to their ownership rights of their body and their agency. Then that's fine. We should protect children, and that capacity to use their adult agency in fully realized, be preserved until they reach their majority to the extent that we can, you know? So there are reasonable limits on children's autonomy, but that is not the same thing as saying where children's autonomy is limited, the size of ownership of that individual by another is increased. Incorrect. Parents are regents, not owners. Parents are regents, not managers. You could say they're custodians, except that would imply that the child was a resource rather than an end in itself. So, regent is the best word for it. A parent is a regent. Somebody who is operating in the role of the king until the king reaches his majority. And each of us is sovereign in that regard. I mean, morally, if not in any other capacity. So anyway, it's like reading things like this make me both sad, and also it makes me feel like I appreciate that this person asked me. You know, it's like it's moving. Thank you for asking me, and good luck.